think that we really gutted it out. We made it real hard for ourselves. But to be able to gut out a win like that, I think we were down 9 with 4 to play. And, you know, clearly shooting below 50% from the line, 12% from 3. You know, we just couldn't feel good on that end at all. And so we had to just really gut it out. And so really happy that we were able to do so to have another chance to keep going.
Lexi's situation didn't play the first half?
Can you have that sound off on that?
It's this, and
so Lexi, oh yeah, so she tweaked her ankle a little bit at practice, and so we were going to try to wait and use her as late in the tournament as we could, just out of literally an abundance of caution. You know, she's too important to us. So at halftime, I said, you know, she was mad and said, I want to play, and I said, well, if we need you, you'll play. So we needed her.
Which ankle?
I don't know. I literally don't know, but I'm sure you could tell. I probably taped her. I don't know.
So you would envision playing the whole game without her, but you really need her.
We're prepared. I mean, yeah, we were prepared to try to not have to use her and give her one more day of recovery, although she implored us that she was fine, and clearly she looks fine. So, but this isn't the time of the season where you put kids in positions where they have to play hampered, right? That's save that for the league. And so we're certainly glad that we were able to put her back in.
She was the only one to hit 3-pointers tonight. Is I guess kind of just the lack of consistency in the shooting. Is that starting to become a concern?
You know, because they practice every day. I mean, I think it comes down to, honestly, I think it comes down to how engaged you are in the game a little bit. Like, we were just kind of slow out of the gates, and so that made us tighter, I think, with our shots. So, you know, whereas Lexi's got this like fearlessness to her. You know, she's a good shooter, but she's also pretty fearless. So, not yet, but maybe I should be.
What was it about there? I guess as a matchup zone that really made it hard for you guys for most of the game.
Well, the first half we knew they were going to dig and double and try to prevent paint touches, and we just loved to dribble. We thought that was we just really fell in love with the dribble, and we have been practicing not doing that. So I think we just nonchalantly entered the game, to be honest, and then when shots didn't fall, they got tight, right? And it was, I don't know, negative 38 degrees in there, so they're freezing. That doesn't help. And then at halftime, it was like, all right, enough is enough. Let's we have to defend. If we're not going to shoot well, we're going to have to defend, and we were able to do that.
What was the message at halftime, and was it loud?
I'm not a huge screamer. I think it was more some tactical adjustments in terms of how we were going to defend differently and utilize our pressure in switching defenses, change up ball screen coverage, and then on the offensive end, playing off 2 instead of kind of playing off 1, finishing through contact, cutting with pace. I mean, it was, you know, the stuff that you feel like you tell them every day, but we had to remind them of areas of weakness.
You think most of the team was really stunned that they were in that situation at halftime?
I don't know. I mean, I guess we'd have to ask them. We knew this team was good. I mean, I came from the mid-major world, so when you play an NCAA tournament team, you know, these guys know each other, they trust each other. Just because they're not on TV doesn't make them not good, right? So I don't think this team. I think this team has a genuine humility to them. I don't think they think they're better than other people until they beat them, right? But clearly there was a slow start, and that tightened them up, and you know, and again, not making it a game time decision not to play Lexi unless we needed her. That's a thing they have to adjust to, you know. So they didn't adjust very well to that, obviously.
I think y'all trailed for like 31 minutes in this game.
Felt like it.
It just felt like you were down for almost all of it until right there at the end. How do you think like they responded to that sort of as the game went on, just being down and being behind,
and not being able to finish, right? I mean, even when we would get we'd get a stop and a foul, we couldn't finish at the free throw line, right? So I think they just, as I told them after the game, they gutted it out through frustration. Like, there weren't a lot of feel-good moments in that game. It was just you had to keep punching, right? And that's great for this team to have done that and have to come out successful doing it, because it wasn't pretty or easy. There was no minutes of like, oh right, this is our rhythm. You know, we just had to fight, and they did it.
What about what character that your team showed in rallying in the fourth quarter when it looked like it might be over?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's what these guys got. You know, they've got that group that was in there late they just have the heart of of winners, right? And I've never seen Deja. I don't know how many free throws you missed. Way too many for her. What did it say? 4 for 9. Like she couldn't. I mean, she couldn't get anything to go. Alyssa couldn't get anything to go, and they just kept fighting, right? And I think that's if they can continue to impart that on their teammates, that how you fight even when things don't go well, you know, that would be a good thing.
Alyssa, how hard was it sitting for the last 6 minutes of the first half, and then seeing what happened? What were your thoughts at halftime?
Yeah, so when I got my third foul and I got pulled out, then it was just infusing my teammates with confidence to finish out that first half as strong as we could. And then heading into the second half, I was able, when I was on the bench, I was able to sit and kind of see how they were defending things and then use that tactically going into the second half. But the biggest thing for me was just trying to bring energy to my team and just make that contagious throughout the squad.
Speak to the character of the team and rallying in the fourth quarter. I mean, how did you guys do that?
We have a great team. I mean, everybody who's on the bench, on the court, everybody's invested and is just buying into what we need to do in order to win, whether that's crawling back from being down and just whatever we need. We have a lot of players that have stepped up today.
And Deja, can you speak to the frustrations of the first 2.5 quarters and how you guys turned it around?
Yeah, no, I think, even myself, I take accountability. My energy was not there in the first half at all. So I think, and I know that I need to be that to help the team go as well. And I didn't bring that. So that first half was brutal because it was, as a whole, we were quiet. We were trying to kind of tiptoe into everything. But I think the second half was huge. At least the fourth. Honestly, I'll say the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter, just because how we fought. You could just see noticeably a shift, just in our energy, the way we were talking, just the defensive end really. That was the biggest way we came back. And I think so for us as a collective with the group that was in, some subs that came in, that was huge for us. I think the biggest thing was our energy.
And you were slow to get up there at the end. Are you okay?
I'm great.
Never better.
Never better.
I would say too, it's worth mentioning that's the kind of kid Deja is, right? Like the first thing she said is tip ownership, that her energy wasn't good, right? And I think sometimes those stories aren't told about kids like that, right? Like that she knows, and it won't happen again. I know it, right? But I'm not surprised that you would say it's not, that you weren't what we needed from the start. And it's so easy to call out your teammates, but this is a group that really, they lead this group well.
I didn't play basketball, so I don't know questions. And you're from Texas and you're from Minnesota, so you might have different answers. We're in a hockey arena. Is it harder to shoot when it's cold?
I don't think I'll chalk it up to shooting. Maybe the air was a little different. I think the first 2 minutes, my chest was kind of. But other than that, sure. Let's say that. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I know we can shoot better in these next games coming up, so the environment doesn't concern me. And having played in Minnesota, where I've played in hockey arenas before, and I've even played outdoor sports in the snow, it really comes down to the grit of the team and the individuals, and that's something that we've all decided going into that second half and even that fourth quarter that we're going to bring, and so we're going to bring that tomorrow as well.
You guys had a lot of support. Your dad told me that you had 22 extended family members at the game.
Yeah.
That had to feel good.
Yeah, that's just a great experience to see the support, and that support travels. So we have a great squad, 1 through 15, and so they're easy to root for. And so my family loves to come along and not only cheer myself, but be the biggest supporters for those families that can't be here.
Is that the most you've had at a game?
I'll probably say it's second most to the time we went home and to my home and played at Minnesota. And I had a lot of people there, but definitely the most that have traveled.
What? Go ahead.
Deja, you had 7 of your 9 rebounds in the second half. Did you feel like I needed to hunt them a little bit more coming off the backboard?
Well, that's something that coaches really emphasize to the guards, just in general, that we have to rebound more, especially we're down a few people, or we're bringing some back now, but honestly, knowing that I said that we were shooting that well, I was like, might as well go in there and crash and see if I can get a few, and then even on the defensive, and that was something that was big that I was trying to focus on, because we had to start with a stop and then we had to end it with a rebound. So I was just trying to lock in on my team out there.
And obviously a formidable opponent. They won at Iowa. What are the challenges that you face tomorrow?
Oh gosh, so many. I mean, they've got really experienced guard play. They're physical. They've got a great inside presence. They can go really giant. They can go really athletic with Greer. I mean, Mitty's done a great job. It's been a good team. You know, they were a little bummed with injury last year, but outside of last year, they've been good for many years. I mean, this is so we know a lot of good teams here. It's a great tournament. I mean, look at whether you win or lose, you're going to play somebody good. So that's why you come to these kind of events.
And you had Anya back.
We did, yes. That was really awesome. Yep, getting there. Yeah, I mean, I would love to give you more information, but I don't have it. I mean, I think if it's certain things you do in season, in league, that you wouldn't do in the non-conference, right? Because it's just, you don't want to be having these kids dealing with, little things all year long, right? And so it's still the non-conference. It's important, but it's still the non-conference. So we're going to be cautious until we need to be.
Thanks, you guys.
Cool.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.